Hey Shooby Doodlers, I thought I'd show you what I've been doing in my sketchbook. As a lot of this has been done while I've been watching TV actually in the evenings. This is a traffic cop guy, a very kind of thin head with a bald thing on the top, which I quite like. Watching something about, you don't want to swim down. Oh yeah, this guy is going down this really narrow crack. And it was kind of like where the two continents are meeting. And you think, no, 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 you're going to get squashed down there. And it was some program about the Atlantic and big birds and stuff like that. Triggerfish, I like those triggerfish and things. So this is just drawing stuff, watching the TV. This is Sophie reading the news. And this again, I think actually, this was some guys on Mastermind with. I can't remember who they were. Anyway, I think these are inspired. I can't remember who these are inspired by. It might be Humans. We were watching the series called Humans. I don't know if you've ever seen that. Now, Great British Bake Off, I'm a big fan. And on Fridays, they have a program called Extra Slice. And Jo Brand, who's a comedian, then she compares it. And what's really good is that the camera is actually on her quite a lot. So you get time to look at her and draw her a bit. Somebody had made a beetroot cake. And I don't know, I just had this idea of beetroot with candles on it. And it's like a hot air balloon. I think there was the big hot air balloon festival going on at the same weekend. So it's just a silly idea. Oh, and then I thought I would do a self-portrait. And as a self-portraits always make the artist look a bit depressed, but it's actually just concentration. And I don't think these are terribly good. This is getting a little bit better. So I did these kind of one after the other. And I suppose I spent, I don't know, 10 to 15 minutes on them or something. And I think that one is just far too long. It's about thin and long in the face. I didn't do any pencil sketching or anything. It was just straight in with pen. Yeah, so I thought actually it's quite interesting. I thought I'll start doing some self-portraits, and because I haven't really sat down and done any portraits for a long time. I actually sat down and drawn people, and so if you've got a mirror in front of you, of course you don't have to worry about asking people. And I think, having not done it for a while, and I do so much out of my imagination or just quick things from watching the TV. What was interesting was I realised I needed to do a bit more kind of looking and take a bit more time before I actually make a line. Do a bit of measuring as well, maybe. Do a bit of that old, working out the angles. If you don't know about that, I better make a video about it. And this is a YouTube friend of mine called Sana. I'll put a link to her channel here. She called Books and Quills, I think. And now she's been using the same little photograph of herself for an avatar for about 6 years. And she said, time to change it. And she's always had this. She's from Holland, and she's had a little Dutch milkmaid hat on her picture. And so she said, it's got to go. So I said, no, save the milkmaid hat. Don't do it, Sana. I can't remember who he was. He was some guy on the TV, and I think the rest of this is all kind of notes and stuff. Yeah, time to move on to the next one. So I got a new one. Started on August the 9th. I put heads up because I felt like I was drawing kind of lots of heads at the time, so I did this little front cover thing. And also, so on my Patreon art school thing that I'm doing, I've moved on to cartoon faces now, so this was kind of planning out ideas for what I was going to do there. Now I was watching the Japanese anime film The Wind Rises, and there was a strange little shape. I couldn't work out what it was, and there was something, it was kind of moths and things, but it looked like a little kind of sentry box. But there were all these moths floating around it, and I thought, you could have this kind of moth lantern to attract the moths, and just one or two little things that I noticed while watching When the Wind Rises. Every time I watch a Japanese anime program, I'm always kind of reminded of how the Japanese tend to see objects as being animated, as being real-life objects that they can relate to, and that each kind of object has a spirit to it, and that's just reminding myself there. I can't remember who asked me to draw a cow. They did. And this has really started me off now. I'm doing a kind of a drawing a day on Twitter and Instagram and things. So having drawn the cow and I was drawing faces, I thought I'd just draw a series of cow faces. And then that night we started watching The Artist. I don't know if you've seen The Artist. It's a black and white movie. It's a great movie. And of course I'm drawing them in colour, and it's a black and white movie. And this is, I can't remember his name now. You know, he used to be in Roseanne. And again, these are, when you see people come up, I just see a fleeting image of something. Oh, I want to draw that. And by the time I got my pen out, then it's all gone. So these are kind of from memory, and I think here it was the curve of the body. It doesn't look like her at all. But it was also this fabulous umbrella that she had with these cherry blossom inside. It was dark on the outside and light on the inside with these cherry blossoms. And then I kept singing all night. Every time it rains, pennies from heaven. And then I realised, hey, it's a black and white movie. And I did a little picture of Uggy, the dog, who, extraordinarily, the next day, it was announced that he had died. And it was, it would have been, oh dear, how sad. But because we'd watched it the night before, it was sort of doubly sad, really. And here again, this was a hat, which I drew from memory because it had gone, and by the time it actually came back onto the screen, it was nothing like that at all. So I'd kind of imagined things. So anyway, and these are the stars of the film. I don't know their names. But I wrote, I must try drawing from life and ask people to sit for me. On the TV, you get such a fleeting moments. I could pause, but then it's just copying. And I don't really want to do that. So anyway, this is, so this Wednesday morning is trash day, rubbish day. And so I drew the rubbish bin. And I can't remember what these were. That was a water glass. I can't remember. These are just, I don't know, watching the TV. Great British Bake Off again. This is Dorette, she went last night with her biscottis. And this is the Arlettes. These, of course, this is just doodling while the programme's on. Arlette made a biscuit box with frogs and frog biscuits. And she'd been stamping out the frogs, which isn't, she hadn't been making them, she'd just been stamping them out. So it's not that difficult, is it really? And they say, don't stamp out the frogs, Dorette. I don't know what that was. I saw some branching thing that I kind of liked the look of, so I kind of drew that. And there's some animal program on with cows and things. And again, watching, one of the things was a deep sea program with a manta ray on it, so I just drew that as my drawing of the day. Sophie on the news again, Robin Peston, doesn't quite look like it. And then I thought it was Left-Handed Day, International Left-Hand Day. So I thought Jimi Hendrix, he played guitar left-handed, so I thought I'll draw him. And I was just, first of all, I thought maybe Henry VIII, but he's not left-handed, so I was just looking at Jimi Hendrix. So this is Jimi Hendrix drawn with my left hand. My hand was aching at the end. I painted it left-handed as well. And it's just, it requires so much concentration and dexterity. Try drawing with your other hand, it's not easy. This is going back, we were watching the Humans series. And this guy has these amazing eyes. You can really kind of see the eyeballs. And then it was the thing from the introduction there, so it gave me an idea. Another underwater program, and these things are Cassiopeia jellyfish with these fantastic strands on them, and manatees. I love manatees. And this was a view looking down from above of dolphins swimming, which was again a fleeting moment, and it's gone. This was my cat. It was just lying down in front of me. The colours are a bit weird, I think, because I did it at night in quite dark surroundings. And again, that was another of my drawings of the day. You can follow me. Just look for Shoo Rayner, all one word, on Twitter or on Instagram, and I'm doing these every day now. So part of the difficulty of thinking, what shall I draw every day, you've got to come up with an idea. So I was sitting there with a camera in front of me, and so I just put the camera's always watching me these days, and it's something to draw. Beer glass things. There was something about the First World War, and I drew one of the tanks they had. Oh no, this was on Indiana Jones. That's right, there was a tank on Indiana Jones. I don't know who these people. These are all people on the TV. And fleeting moments again. I found this beetle in the garden while I was weeding. It had a beautiful engraved line on its thorax. This line coming round here and curling round. It had carmine red legs too. It buried itself in the earth before I could take in any more details. I was desperately trying to draw it, and it's gone, just like the TV. This is Professor Kerry Northwick. This is a program called Trust Me, I'm a Doctor. So I was watching, so I was just drawing people while they were on. This is Hello, I'm Completely Bonkers. Dragon's Den. I don't know if you've seen Dragon's Den, where people come on and pitch their business ideas. I love it. I love that program. And these two came on, and they were laid into because they had such a bad business plan, and she was looking really terrified. And this couple here, she was a Korean. She had this wonderful profile, and I think I did that quite well, actually. I was quite pleased with that. And they got the funding. Yes, they did very well. Again, what to draw every day. As I was walking out to the studio, it was a beautiful sunny morning, and my mum, who lives with us, her stargazer lilies had just come out in flowers. I thought, I'm going to sit down in the sunshine and draw and paint these. I put, finally the buds break, the lilies bloom, turning their faces to the stars. Drawn and painted on a warm August morning in the garden. And then what else do you draw? Every day you've got to come up with an idea. I have in my studio here it is, look, this funny little thing that Mrs. Rayner gave me one Valentine's Day, and so I thought I would draw that. And again, these are more people off the TV. Jet Age. Oh, the Jet Age Museum. Yes, I must find out where that is. What else to draw each day? Yesterday I was in correspondence with one of my Patreon supporters, and on my art school on Patreon, and I was saying how, one of the things that they were saying how teaching, the thing is, some people try to hold back all their secrets and they don't want to let them out, and I was saying how I kind of go with Sir Isaac Newton, who says, if I have seen further, it is by standing on the shoulders of giants. And so, there are many things which I have not been taught, which I've worked out myself. But should I keep those secret, or should I pass these things on? And I think I should pass them on, because there are so many things that I have learned from those who've done exactly the same before, learned the hard way. And I've learned from them, and it's my duty to pass it on and not to hold back secrets. So this is Great British Bake Off, extra slice again. And these were the kind of guests who were on. Rosemary Shaker, Nick Moran, and Roisin Connolty. And I must say, I think I'm getting, the more I draw like this, which I haven't been drawing like this for a long time, and the more I'm using my paints every day, it's just doing it every day. You get more proficient and more fluid and fluent. I think it's like practicing your handwriting, really. And she was on the Big Bang, and then she'd gone. Great British Bake Off. So this was last night. They were making soda bread and baguettes. This is Matt and Nadia, and somebody making flower pot bread in a flower pot. And Ian, who won again, I think, looking a bit dazed. I don't know. And then I just took that and was just playing with the face and the features. That was all I was doing there, really. I can't remember. Saw something. This was something that carried on the TV last night. I can't remember who any of these people are. I can't remember what program. I was just concentrating on the faces and not watching the program. And then just this morning, just now, I've done another self-portrait, which I think is a bit better. It's still a bit long in the face, but it's better. And I'm saying, I took a minute longer looking in the mirror and actually measured the angle of the arms of my glasses. The face is too long, and I should try to smile next time, looking sad rather than serious. I wasn't sad, it's all just concentration. So there we go, that's as far as I've got in this sketchbook. I've got a fantastic place I'm going to go to tomorrow, which I will show you next week, but you'll have to come back and find out what that was all about. Well, that was a long one, but I hope you enjoyed it. And in case you missed my last sketchbook, click that link and go see inside my forest sketchbook with lots of other stuff in there as well. Click the logo and subscribe on YouTube for lots more drawing videos, or just try the mystery drawing. Why not come and join my art school on Patreon? My courses start from only $3 a month, which is such a bargain. In the meantime, keep drawing, practice, and I'll see you next time. You take care now. Bye bye.